It was at Glen Eagles at the Solheim Cup that I remember. If you recall, on the 18th green, there was the slope on the side of the hill where everybody was sitting, the gallery was sitting. I was doing the world radio coverage, so I was about 15 feet to your left. You were sitting alone, and there was so much pressure and so much stress at that moment that figuratively, while you were physically alone, it felt even more pronounced because of the moment. And I was thinking to myself, geez, there's Nancy Lopez by herself at this moment. And then almost instantly at that time, the two Korda sisters walked up. They got each side of you. They're obviously standing there in this photo that we're showing, but this was out in the field at this moment. They got in each side of you, and they put their arms around your shoulders, and it was one of the coolest things. And I'm sorry for sharing what was a private moment in this public forum, but I thought it was so cool and so moving to see it. And you guys shared that moment together. Ultimately, it was a moment in which the United States Solheim Cup team did not win, but nonetheless, there was a moment of reflection, and there was a moment of what I call these bridges that the game of golf constantly affords us with between you, legends, and now the new legend that is Nelly Korda with what she's accomplishing. What does that mean to you to have that kind of relationship with those young women? And I don't mean any disrespect by this, but it struck me very much as these young women was someone that they look up not only to respect, but it kind of had like a grandmother feel to it.
Well, it's just fun. I was Jessica's Junior Solheim Cup captain. She played for me in the Junior Solheim Cup. And when I was a captain, I mean, she was 17 and Alexi was 14. And when we were at the hotel, all the girls went downstairs, and it was a place where you could make a waffle and cook your own breakfast. And these young women were trying to make their waffles. Of course, stuff was everywhere and it was stuck. And I went over there and I helped them. And I was basically making breakfast for the players at the hotel downstairs where everybody else eats.
Brilliant.
And I think, just because these young women, I have three daughters that did not play golf. My oldest, Ashley, 40, is just now starting to play golf. I look at the situation like I'm kind of like their mom, and I treat them like I would treat my daughters. And if I can help them in any situation, and to help them through a negative time, to help encourage them, to give them a pat on the back, and then I was their pod leader in the Solheim Cup under Julie Inkster. Jessica was in my pod, and so was Nellie. Lexi was in my pod. And it's just a great time for me to be able to really hug these young women and encourage them, because it's not easy. And their parents, Jessica and Nellie's parents, are great golf parents. Of course, their father, professional tennis player, he gets it. And I think that I know their mother gets it too. So when you're assistant captain, or you're the person they're next to, I just always wanted to encourage them. And I feel like they may look up to me as a mom, and not a grandmother, but a mom.
Fair enough.
And I love it, because they're just special kids, and really wish that my kids would have played golf like they did, not professionally necessarily, but just to enjoy this great game. But Jessica and Nellie are just super young people, and I love being around them. They make me feel young when they're ever around, but I love it when they come and hug me, because it means a lot to me.